Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it is December 22nd, 2020. It's almost 9 p.m. here in Baton Rouge. Check out this shirt that my aunt got me. She's in the hospital right now. She had like a seizure. She's in the hospital, but she got me this shirt before that, and it's weird because like I love this show. I love The Mandalorian, and my mom was like, she just got this shirt for you because it had the cute baby Yoda on it. What's his name? It's like Grongo or something like that. I think it's Grongo. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to make a short video, guys, just kind of updating y'all. Because I got comments like I put the Jim Caviezel video up. It's like a very inspirational speech. I got some comments asking if I was okay. And thank you. You know, I know we worry about each other, especially like if somebody makes videos or they do something, then they're not around for a while. I'm okay. Like I'm okay. I'm okay. Like I'm still, we're targeted, so we say we're okay. I'm alive and I'm pushing forward. Actually a miracle kind of happened. A Christmas miracle happened. It's kind of going up against some bad stuff though. My grandma being in hospice, and all I gotta say is that woman is gonna die when she wants to die. And that's good. Like I want her around for a lot longer, but it's like it's really painful, and she can't walk around and stuff like that. She can't take care of herself, but it's like it's really tough. The good news is, and it's weird. This is a miracle to me. It's a miracle to me. I don't know what you guys will think of it. You might think it's weird that I see it as a miracle, but so I have tons of pain on this left side here, in like around my sinus cavity and over here and stuff like that. My attackers will like give me vagus nerve stimulation. It was getting so bad, like over here, like okay, I gotta turn my head this way, like over here, and like especially right here, like on the jaw, like on the jawbone. So I went to a dentist that my dad went to. My mom hasn't gone to her yet, but she's like a dentist that they both know. My parents know her very well, so I went to her. She said they took X-rays, and I'll show you guys the X-rays on a live stream. But she took X-rays, and this back tooth over here, I had a root canal in it, like the very last tooth. It's like number 15. I guess your wisdom teeth are number 16. But it's like the very back tooth now, because I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I had a root canal in it. Apparently, there's an infection on that tooth. That tooth is just so something's wrong with it, and so she sent me to a specialist. Right, she sent me to this specialist who specializes in root canals, and she was like, "Well, I'll send you to him so you can see if you can get it retreated, like retreat the root canal and everything like that." So I went to him this morning. I got a story about that. But I went to him this morning. The main thing, just to make a long story short, is he said that tooth is so messed up, and there's like a hole in my jawbone. There's a hole in my jawbone and a huge infection that affects my sinus cavity and stuff like that. So I'm going to get the tooth taken out. So right now I'm taking antibiotics, and I feel really good. Like it feels like it's easing up all that pain. The weird thing is, it's like, I'll just say this. I'll say this. If I wasn't targeted, my attackers weren't doing remote neural manipulation stuff, I don't know if I'd have this infection. And the weird thing is I'd put a magnet there and it would subside. The pain would subside. So I think that, a layer of it was this infection. And then when your attackers can make an area hurt that's injured or something like that. So they were doing that. And I was going, well, it has to be targeting. I mean, this is like, I think this infection has been going on and getting worse it would kind of get better if I do certain things like take a lot of vitamin C and stuff like that. But it's been going on for like 2 years almost, maybe a year or 2 years. But I had this blister like in my gums, and I was like, man, it has to be something with target. It has to be an implant or something like that. Um, but I talked to my friend in Canada, and he saved my ass. He said, no, I've had that where there's a hole in the gums, and it was like a tooth infection. So that's what kind of made me push to just go get it done. So I'm getting that tooth out on January 8th, and it was causing this huge infection. So to me, it's like this huge miracle, right? When you don't know something's going on, and then God works in this mysterious way, and it's going to take this huge layer, this weight off of me, and I'll still be targeted, but I won't have this infection going on all the time, and it's I think it's gonna be good. I'll be targeted, use my defenses. So my perspective is like, wow, this is gonna take a huge weight off me, right? So I wanted to tell you guys that. So it's weird. It's weird dealing with that, and I want to take it kind of slow. I kind of want to slow down a little bit. I'm gonna keep making videos definitely, but it's just like I've told you guys this on a live stream. Like the way that I was thinking about it was, okay, this is happening because of targeting, all the pain, and it really bad, affecting everything that my attackers were doing. It was making things easier for them. And then I was feeling so horrible in going up on live streams of this because I was like, okay, well, it's not going to get any better, or I'll have to find defenses or something like that. But we've got to get this information out. And it's getting up on live streams with this awful infection that I had, like a hole in my jaw. um, I don't know. So I'm just like kind of easing up. I'm trying to, even with the targeting, if I can get this fixed, or I'm taking the antibiotics and just trying to decompress and kind of think about it, kind of think about it, right? You gotta laugh, dude. The world is so messed up. I also wanted to say, when I went to go see the specialist this morning, it was weird because I went to another doctor's appointment. They take the temperature with the little temperature gun thingy on your forehead, and I've never had a problem. But this morning at the specialist's office, my attackers did not want me to get in there because, like, I don't have any fever. Like even the infection, I guess maybe it could give me a little bit of a temperature, but the lady did the temperature thing, and I was running 101. And I did this, and I felt like a stream of energy going to my forehead. So my attackers like knew I was going to have to, get the temperature check, and they were heating up my forehead so that maybe I wouldn't get the appointment, right? They ended up just like, she was like, okay, yeah, yeah, you're 98, and I wasn't. They let me in, and I talked to the doctor, and he was like, I can't retreat it. I can't retreat it. The tooth is just, it's gone. Like the tooth is just so messed up. It's making an infection that has created a hole in your jaw, and it's affecting your sinus cavity. So I talk about that pulsing pain and everything like that. The weird thing is, though, is that the magnet reduced the pain, and it was for real. The magnet really reduced the pain. So my attackers were playing around, psyoping me about it, making it worse, so that I was in my head thinking this is like an implant. This is just something with the targeting. It's something I can't fix, right? But it is something I can fix. I'm gonna get the tooth out. Miracle. I think it's a miracle. So much bad stuff's going on. I know all you guys are like hurting out there. We gotta hang in there. We gotta hang in there. Um, we just have to hang in there. I feel like 2021 is gonna be, I don't know, a year for revealing things to all of humanity about how evil things are. And this thing with the tooth, I feel like sometimes, this is kind of a crazy thought, but I feel like sometimes we as targeted individuals are kind of a Zeitgeist. We're a microcosm of the macrocosm of what's happening to the human race. So much stuff is being dumped on them, and us. You know, us extreme wise, it's extreme. The microcosm is totally extreme for us. And they dump so much stuff on us. They're targeting us. We know that we're being targeted, and then we miss certain things. God kind of can unravel certain things, right? That maybe we're like, wow, this isn't fixable. This isn't fixable. This is the targeting, right? So microcosm is that, macrocosm is like, wow, the new world order is coming in. There's really nothing we can do about this. It's so big. People protesting. People are doing everything they can. President Trump is doing everything he can. And I agree that he should fight as much as he can. But I think Joe Biden's going to get in there. I'm not sure Mike Pence. There's some rumblings about how they could do some weird stuff with the electors. I hope so. I hope so. But I just want to microcosm, something that I didn't think I could fix, and then it's like this miracle that was always there, right? Weird, because if it was just if I was a non-targeted individual and this happened and I let this infection go so long, like in my jaw, and it is like he said get the tooth out, and the whole of my jaw is going to heal, everything like that. It's really weird. It's really weird. But you take that microcosm, and then there's the macrocosm of what humanity is facing, the darkness and the evil, and the unbelievable, unbelievable sociopathy, psychopathy, but times a million at the top of the pyramid, right? And that it looks bleak. It looks like we're gonna get stuck in a new normal, new normal, new normal. But God always has something there that maybe we don't see. So we've got to keep going, guys. I know everybody's in pain. I don't know. I have to say those things, right? I have to say we got to keep going because I've experienced, victories and things like that. On V2K, the lady's like, call it off, and the guy's like calling me something, calling me names. I don't know. It's like if I get rid of this was like the worst pain ever, and I was just like, yeah, it's like an implant, and it looks on the. I'll show you guys the X-rays. They took X-rays at the regular dentist, and then X-rays at the specialist, and it was on this side. You can't see anything like where the root canals were done. It's completely like white, right? So I'm like, it doesn't seem like they would. It doesn't. I don't see any kind of implant in the tooth, in the back tooth. And then on the left sinus, the X-ray was showing the left sinus a little bit, and I didn't see anything in there. So I mean, that's good news. It's good news. It's something I can fix. It's not an implant or anything that I have to go to Texas for. Um, I don't know. I think I might still go to an ENT, get my ears checked out in both sinus cavities, but clearing this up is going to be huge. And I'm just like, I've been going so long. It's been very surreal, right? All this is very surreal, and I gotta decompress. I'll still be doing live streams and stuff. Just for Christmas, I want to focus on my family and my grandma. And if I get I have a bunch of stuff, right? Like I have articles, and I want it to go over another like huge channel that covered targeting a year ago. Right, it's weird. A lot of huge channels covered gang stalking and targeting a year ago. Um, just weird on the timing. I'm not saying that these guys were agents that were talking about it, but I want to cover it because he was a little bit closer, but in a very smart guy. But we'll go through that. Like I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do live streams on and videos. But I'm just decompressing, kind of. My family's struggling. I'm struggling. You guys are struggling. I know. Um, but man, this is huge. It's like I had an instinct. I had an instinct that there's something here that God can work out, right? In my head, half of my head, I was like, no, this is just targeting. It's gonna get worse and worse. So I've got to just keep going, right? But then there was like, the part that my soul and another part of my head that was saying, no, 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 God's got this. There's something I'm not seeing. And it was exactly that. And it was exactly that. And it's almost, it almost never fails that something like that happens when I'm like, this is it. You know, it's just getting worse and worse. And there's always something that I can fix or do. Just, you know, keep that in mind. Um, you know, just really pray to God if you're really, really hurting. You know, like there's just no way out. Just really pray to God. You know, ask Him just to send the Holy Spirit just to guide you. You know, just to guide you. And there's, in my experience, there's always something, you know, to keep me going. Um, but I just wanted to do an update, just an update because I think people were maybe worried about me. You know, I'm good relatively, right? Because we're being targeted. It really sucks. The V2K is going right now. I got some ringing in my ears and stuff like that. Um, it's weird though. I'm taking the antibiotics, and it's not like totally cleared up, but it's like affecting those areas. Like I can tell it's affecting those areas, and I'm not reaching for the kratom as much, right? Um, and I took like a half of lorazepam instead of a full one because like I feel pretty good. So this is going in a good direction, guys. This is, you know, a miracle. It's kind of, it's weird because there's so much bad stuff going on. So when we get, you know, when we get stuff that can make us feel better, or oh man, that's a victory, it's like we have to celebrate and don't let all the bad stuff steal our joy. We're still human beings. We're still guided by God. God is still on the throne. You know, He's still on the throne here. And I don't know how things are going to turn out, guys. I know we're close to, you know, getting these programs revealed, right? I just worry. I worry because I see that there was so much fraud in the election that was just completely, yeah, that's fraud, but it's too big to fail, right? And this targeting, this experimentation on the brain, remote neural manipulation to try and get people to do crazy things, to mess with our belief systems, to torture us, and everything like that. It's one of these things that's making so much money, and it's so much a part of like the future that these new world order globalists want to create, where they can control people like puppets. That it's like I don't know. Sometimes this is a negative thing, and I want to be positive today, but I just want to say this is, you know, I'm not sure. I hope this doesn't happen, but I feel like even if it's staring people in the face, it's like they'll deny it, you know, just like the election fraud. There will be some people that know, and then some people that are just like, no, no, no way, just because they don't want to believe it, right? Just like the whole time. We gotta put those negative thoughts aside and move forward. Um, I really hope you guys are finding relief. If I don't make a video before Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas. And you know, I'll probably make a video at least around New Year's, right? We'll do something for New Year's. Maybe we'll hang out. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to do an update. I love this shirt, and it's weird. It's really weird. The you know, the Mandalorian season 2 came out, and I didn't watch the episodes as they came out. I ended up, you know, watching them the other day. I watched all of them, like all the way through, and I found out afterwards it was like the day that the last episode came out, so it was like perfect timing. I always wonder with those things. I'm like, is that my attackers? Like, did they, you know, give me an impulse to watch it like when that came out? So I don't know. That's it, probably not. Probably not. You know, this stuff just gets so complicated. I've been targeted so long. I know some of you guys have been targeted a long time. It's I feel like an idiot, you know, not catching that this was an infection, right? Because the pain, it's like I put the magnet there, and it was affected by that. And so it's like, and my attackers could affect that area with remote neural manipulation, but there was an underlying infection, right? And I was like, no, this is something with an implant, something my attackers are doing, because the targeting's so bad, and I've been targeted so long that I was like, oh well, this is just that, right? Now I do actually think that it was exacerbated and maybe even caused by the targeting and the vagus nerve stimulation, but something I could fix. I don't, you know, I feel like an idiot kind of, but on the other hand, it's like I don't really want to go to a dentist because I don't really know, I don't trust them. Somebody told me today there's dentists and doctors that are involved in some type of organization where it's like, you know, experimentation and stuff. It's just it's specifically called something. I can't remember. I think it's like CLIA. I'm probably getting that wrong. But I always worry about that. But since this was on the fly, it was really on the fly. Like 2 days before the appointment, my mom and dad both knew the dentist. I felt a lot, you know, I felt better about going to her. And then it was like she made an appointment for the next day with the specialist, so it was really quick. And it was really weird how I had a 101 because I had another doctor's appointment like 2 days ago. They did the temperature thing. I'm always fine on that. When I go to my psychiatrist, they do the temperature thing. I'm always fine. Going to the specialist, they were like, I don't know if it was a field around. It felt like a stream of energy to the forehead, and they were heating up my forehead so she would get that temp. And they were hoping that they just wouldn't let me have the appointment, right? Because they don't want me to get this fixed. It's their main thing. It's that, you know, they do give me sleep deprivation. When I take kratom, I'm able to kind of bypass the sleep deprivation. But for me, this huge infection was like, it was the sleep deprivation. It was the thing that was wearing me down, and so the remote neural manipulation was worse. The pain was worse. The just the fatigue and everything. Um, yeah, it was really bad. Some nights, you know, I felt like I was in shock. I was kind of cold, right? And I kind of question now, is that a remote neural manipulation feeling or is just this infection, right? Now I'm 100% like I am targeted, so dealing with all that, but I just question what's what, right? Untangling this mess, you know, untangling this mess. But I just wanted to let y'all know I'm okay. You know, I'm relatively okay. You know, trying to just help my family and stuff like that. Worried about my grandma. You know, I try not to think about like, oh, are they targeting her? You know, when she's in the hospital bed at my aunt's house. I just try not to think about that. She seems lucid a lot, like, and she'll talk to me, but it's just like she can't move around, like she can't get around, and she stays in bed and like sleeps. So, um, I hope she sticks around for a long time. I hope she gets better. She's the strongest woman I know, I think. It's where I can get my grit from. I wouldn't be making videos or I wouldn't be doing as good with the targeting if I didn't have genes from her. Let's just say that. I get a lot of stuff from a lot of my grandparents and my parents, but from her, it's like I said, she's going to die when she wants to die. And I think that's awesome. It's really sad. It's really sad and it's really hard. And there's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things going on. It seems like to all of good humanity, there's, you know, different angles hitting them and hitting us. We're an extreme version, right? Because we're getting hit with microwaves, remote neural manipulated, and everything like that. You miss things that you can fix because there's so much on top, right? So much asymmetrical warfare, and I think it's a Zeitgeist what we deal with, you know, what we deal with and what they're trying to do to all of humanity. Cognitive dissonance. Let's load it up. Load up the asymmetrical warfare so nobody can think straight and nobody can fulfill their destinies and move in the direction that they want to do with their freedom, right? So that's our fight. We got to do that no matter what. No matter what. I am not trying to preach or anything like that. Always, I just worry. I worry about how much everybody's hurting, and I want people to get a boost, right? Please, if you do need a boost, check out the Jim Caviezel video. I always say Jim Caviezel. I'm always like, I think I'm gonna keep doing that. I like that better, Jim Caviezel. I know that's not his name, but it's kind of funny. Um, Recently too, I watched The Count of Monte Cristo. Gotta recommend it. I really gotta recommend it. Won't spoil it for anybody that doesn't know the story. It's a, you know, it's an old book. And Jim Caviezel is in it. Jim Caviezel, Jim Caviezel, Jim Cavill, Cavillon is in it. He's great. He's great, and you know he's wrongfully sent I'm not going to tell y'all the whole story, but I just want to tell this one part where it was like, whoa. Sometimes I feel like, creation is like a very, very infinity times more complicated simulation, and God does work through this simulation, right? In very spectacular ways. But the Jim Caviezel's character, he's not called the Count of Monte Cristo at the beginning, but he gets wrongfully put into this like prison in the middle of the ocean. I think it's in the middle of the ocean. Can't remember. I can't remember, but for like 20 years, and he gets put into this cell, and they like give him this like soup that's like just water and like rat bones every once in a while, and on the wall is this thing that says, he keeps looking at because he's kind of like he's lost his faith. That's one thing for me. Like in my head, I'll get depressed and stuff, but because of what my grandpa said, I'm trusting God. I'm trusting God, and it's somewhere else. Maybe it's in my brain somewhere, but it's something else. It's somewhere else too, where even if I'm having negative thoughts, I'm like, come on, God, let's give me some help here. Let's have some miracles against these evil people, things against these evil things. But anyway, so he's in the cell, and there's this carving on the wall, and it says, "God will give me justice." And he keeps looking at that, the whole time he's in there. And then, well, I don't want to give away the whole movie, but I'd really recommend that to targeted individuals. I was gonna say like, oh, I'd recommend that to target individual guys because it's kind of a like, the main guy in the movie is a guy and stuff like that. But yeah, I think women would like it too. I need to stop doing that. I need to just recommend the movies, because like I'll watch a lot of. Okay, I'm getting off topic here. I really recommend that movie for targeted individuals. It gave me a real boost, and it was almost like a sign. It was almost like a sign, and he has to spend so much time in prison, but he does get out, and this miraculous thing happens, right? There's no way out, but then something happens, and great, great movie. Short movie, because older movies were short. Like nowadays, if they made a Count of Monte Cristo, it'd be like 3 hours, but I think it's like an hour and a half, so it goes by pretty fast. Just a great, great movie. Henry, what's the guy? Superman. Henry Cavill. Is that his name? Henry Cavill. He's like a teenager acting in that movie. He's like, oh, I don't want to give it away. Don't want to give it away, but really recommend it. Really recommend it. What else? That's pretty much it. The main thing is that like I can get a lot of this weight lift it, and that's great. And then I can help my family more. It's a big like whoa WTF, right? Because I let it go on so long, and I just equated it because of the psyoping that my attackers are doing. I equated that's why we got to get concrete evidence, X-rays, and check things out when you do have pains in certain places, right? Because there are implants. There are implants. I may even be implanted, and that's not where it is, right? Um, but in this case, it was something else. I'm not even quite sure. I'm going to get a fuller X-ray on both sinus cavities anyway, just to completely check 100%. But it's good news for me. I was like in the car after he told me, and like I didn't want to get it retreated. Like I really didn't want to get it retreated. It was going to be like $1,000-something. I was going to have to get help from my mom on that. And I was like worried that even if there wasn't an implant in that last tooth, and this is one thing, when she pulls that tooth, I'm gonna get that tooth, and I'm gonna get a hammer, or whatever. If it's I'm gonna get some way to look inside of that back tooth, because the way that my attackers were like not wanting me to go see the specialist and stuff like that, it makes me kind of wonder, are they just worried that I'm going to clear up the infection, or is there something going on, right? Because it feels like if I wasn't targeted, none of it would have happened. Um, but okay, but after he gave me the news, right, he was like, no, 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 we can't even do a retreatment. The tooth is like just. I was like, oh, that's great. like I was like, that's good news for me. And I'm not going to get like another tooth put in or anything like that, unless I like get really rich, which probably won't happen. But I got in the car and I was like, oh my God, this is really great. And I kind of talked to my attackers, because the V2K is going, some of it's automated, but I do have human operators. And I'm just like, oh, man, I'm going to beat y'all now, man. If I get that lifted, I'm going to be flying, doing a lot more stuff. Hopefully have more energy, right? Because an infection like up your left side and your sinus all the time with targeting, it was like I couldn't. I did, we did live streams, right? We're doing live streams, but it just felt like, oh my God, I can't, rusted wheels. My brain can't think. The memory thing is really bad. Feels better, without, with the antibiotics. They're still doing the remote neural manipulation, but since I'm not as tired and I don't have the infection and the pain, it's different. It's different dealing with it. It's a different intensity. Um, you know. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys, let y'all know what's going on with me. I'll be doing stuff. I'll be posting some stuff, and if it strikes me to do a live stream like during Christmas or after Christmas or whatever, I'll do it. But I'm kind of just like I'm okay, but I'm just trying to unravel myself. I'm trying to decompress even with the targeting because this was a huge bane. It was a bane, and I was praying to God to take it away. And guess what? He's answered my prayer. You know, I need to be less like I'm just worried. Like I know everybody's doing bad, and like there's so many things going on that are just no good. They're just no good for humanity, right? This is a huge good thing that God answered my prayer on. So I wanna be proud of that. I want to be proud of my God, right? Our God here, in the name of Jesus Christ. Like it's an answered prayer. It's a weird thing because it's like, oh my God, I went so long with the infection. But it's something I can fix. So I'm really, really happy about that. Um, but I kind of like I don't want to. There's so much bad stuff going on. I need to stop that. We need to have joy about our victories because there's always going to be bad stuff going on. There always was, and now it's more with the pandemic and everything going so wild, in every country. But we've got to have joy in our lives. We've got to have humor in our lives. We've got to have hope in our lives. That's how we beat the darkness. With high frequency things. There was something, I'll go into that. I'll go into that on the live stream. I can kind of remember what I want to talk about. I know that I will, right? This is the first day I started taking the antibiotics. It's made such a difference, like right off the bat, that I'm like, ooh, I get this tooth removed. It's gonna be game on. It's gonna be game on here, guys. And then we've really got to push in 2021. Everybody's hurting so bad. I know everybody's like, some unbearable stuff. The targeting is still bad, but I don't know. It's weird. God works in mysterious ways. That statement is just life. It is life. And life is a tangled mess, but there's great things in it. There's these gifts. We're gifts, right? Our lives are gifts. But God works in mysterious ways. It's like with that going on and the targeting, this unbearable weight where I was like, this I can't move on, and then I figure out I can take a huge layer of it off, and then I'm still targeted, but the perception of it, and this is like it. Okay, I'm just starting. So I always do that, right? You guys know I always do that. I like, oh, I build it up and all this crap. Um, so I'm not going to do that, but I just have a feeling it's going to be really good. And then I'll be dealing with the targeting and using my defenses and stuff. It felt weird because I was like, man, I'm using all these defenses. They were working way better back then. My attacker, but there was a lot of it was this layer of the infection that was just going on, right? Being affected by my attackers and stuff like that, by the remote neural manipulation, but um, huge good thing. And it's just like I felt it, my instincts felt it, but you get depressed from being targeted and your brain being microwaved all the time, and your brain says like, oh no no no, this is just, it's like an implant, and it's going to be hell trying to get this thing out. It's going to be hell because what doctor can you trust? What doctor will do it? Because they're all going to get in trouble. The Texas doctor's good, right? The Texas, I think they're some kind of, they're like plastic surgeons, either the one in Atlanta or the one in Texas. But I was like, oh, I got to get an X-ray and go do that. It's going to be massively hard. But it's this. It's just getting the tooth taken out. So really good, really good. And I'll keep you guys updated on that. Um, Still gonna, I'm still gonna get things checked out and go to an ENT and stuff like that. But this is just huge. It's very, it's worrisome to me that I miss this. It, I'm not gonna, I'm really not beating myself up because like there's so many layers of things that our attackers are doing to us, especially if you're going through it for so long, right? They build up these automated layers that keep going, and then they're doing things manually and stuff like that. And so I'm like, and then they were psyoping me. They would make that area hurt more, and then I'd put the magnet there, and the pain would like really, really was alleviated, and they were alleviating whatever they were doing with remote neural manipulation. That's my, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it felt like was happening. Um, so this is really good. All right, guys, I love y'all. God bless you all. God protect you in these times. Let's lift each other up. Let's keep hope alive. It's just God works in mysterious ways. Keep that in mind. I know this seems horrible, but we're alive and we were put here in this time, and this is just happening. This is happening right now. We got to make it better. And I'm seeing this come out, right? I was talking to my mom. She was driving me to the dentist. She drove me to the dentist, the first dentist, and then I had to go to the specialist, because she had to be with my grandma. But she was saying, my attackers are making me lose this thought. Um, yeah, the dude on V2K goes, "Get out of here." She was saying, "Oh, I said this. I said, okay," and she believes me, so I don't know why I said this to her, but I wanted to just concretely confirm, right? So I was telling my parents about being targeted, the high pitched noise, and the V2K, and all this stuff, the torture with microwaves to my face, and it felt like my head was going to explode. That's how it presented at first, right? That's like it was mostly the head first, and then the V2K came 2 months later, and then like a little time later, I'm not sure because I didn't know what was going on. I think I was being hit with external hits, but you're not even thinking that you're being hit with microwaves or something like that. So you're experiencing external, but you're not, like, you don't know when it started, right? But that started sometime soon after that. And I said, okay, well, I told you and Dad in 2011 that I was being hit with microwaves. I didn't know it was microwaves. I thought like, oh, it was sonic at first, but at least in 2012, 2013, I told them, I was being hit with microwaves, remote microwaves, right? I was looking it up and everything like that. 2016 is when the Cuban embassy attacks happened, right? So and all scientists agree now it was remote microwaves, right? Targeted individuals said it right when it happened, but how does a right? Because I'm not mentally ill, I'm really targeted, but I want to speak to these things that people who are dismissing us or whatever are saying. I want to speak to those things because they are false, right? And that's why I want to go through these videos that these huge channels do, because like, what are they talking about? Did they research any of this? Um, but I said, okay, so in 2000 or whenever I told them at first, a mentally ill kid says he's being microwaved, and then in 2016, these weapons are used on embassy workers in Cuba. How do mentally ill people predict that? All the targeted individuals that said they were being hit with microwaves before 2016, then the 2016 Cuban embassy attacks happen, and everybody knows they happen, right? How do all those targeted individuals, if they were mentally ill or schizophrenic, predict the weapons, right? Predict that the weapons existed. There's no probability of that. 0%. Negative negative percentage probability on that. Negative percentage probability on that. And she was just like, yeah, I know. And she tries to change the subject, obviously, and then I stopped because like so much stuff is going on with my grandma and my aunt, and my mom's like left. Well, my dad's there too helping, but it's like it seems like she's the one who's always, always has to take care of my grandma right now. So it's like I backed off totally. She changed the subject. I was fine with that, right? I was fine with that. But you guys get the point. There's 0% probability of that happening, of me being mentally ill and predict like I'm being hit with remote microwaves. If I feel heat, I'm looking this up. I'm looking up directed energy weapons. There's no way that a mentally ill person can actually predict weapons that exist and then are used on embassy workers. The guy whose video I'm going to show y'all, he has like almost 3 million subscribers, and a year ago he did a video on targeting, but he does that same thing where he's like, yeah, I mean, like I could see somebody like really important getting hit, but why would the government spend money on civilians to surveil you all the time and target you? It's because they're making money. It's because it's millions of people all over the world being targeted, and the government's not spending any money. And the government doesn't even spend its own money anyway. It spends our money. It spends money that doesn't exist. It makes money and stuff like that. But it's not just the government, right? It's the military-industrial complex, which is a breakaway power structure from the government that kind of tells the government what to do, right? It kind of tells the government what to do, and they make money off of this. I'm gonna go over that live stream. Is this awesome? Dude, it's so metaphorical. If you watch The Mandalorian, he's like protecting the new Grongo. I think I'm getting that name wrong, Grongu or something like that. And Grongu is hope for the Jedi, right? And this guy is like protecting him. And I won't tell you what happens in the last episode. I know a lot of you guys who watch my channel probably will want to watch that. Holy, holy bollocks is all I gotta say for the last episode, number 8. I was like freaking out. And I kind of like it confused me because I was confused about the timeline of when The Mandalorian took place. And so I was really confused with the ending, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's when it took place. But it's such a great metaphor. I love it. It's like he's protecting hope and he's getting hope to where it needs to go, right? Um, great show. It's like shows now, like shows are like 1 hour little movies, right? They're as good as movies. The production value is like that's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing for the way that technology is gone with movies, and people have gotten better at making movies. They can make them faster, the storytelling and stuff like that. That's one good thing about the future now, right? We can think of a lot of good things about the future now, the new normal that the evil talks about, and then us as good people, we have to find our new normal. We have to find our balance, and we have to find it with God, right? And I always say that. All right, guys, I've been blathering on, but I wanted to give y'all an update. I got a lot of stuff that I want to go over. I didn't feel like quite doing a live stream tonight. Um, I kind of want to let the let the hole let the hole in my jawbone. He said there's a hole there. I don't see if there's a hole in the jawbone because he said if we get the tooth out, it'll be good. Like all that stuff will heal. So he must have meant there's like a I don't know. He said there's a hole there, and it's infected. And it was like the infection was trying to get out through the blister. And I was like feeling the blister, and I was like, I don't know if that dentist who, worked on my teeth before, she was injecting a lot of stuff into the gums, and I was like, did she like put something in there thinking it was, somebody contacted her and said this is just tracking, blah blah blah. Yeah, I didn't know. I was equating it all to the targeting. Thanks to my friend in Canada, he was like, "Yeah, hole in the like a blister in your gums. It can mean you got an infection in your tooth." And I was like, "Oh, gotta go to the dentist." So he kind of saved my ass there. Um, All right, guys, that's it. I love you guys. I just hope y'all have a happy holidays. I may do some more updates or something like that. I'm just trying to like not do any like 4 hour live streams right now, and just kind of decompress and come back to where I can get to. What do you how would I say it? Just without the infection, with getting the infection cleared up and getting the tooth taken out. That's gonna be January 8th, so I still got. It's only the 22nd. I've only got 7 days of antibiotics. Um, I actually started taking vitamin C and niacin and vitamin D when I didn't have the antibiotics up to when I saw the dentist, and that actually helped. It was like my body was creating the my immune system was creating a defense that was helping it. Um, it's good though. This is good. It's a weird thing because I know as a non-target individual, if I just let an infection, the tooth infection go, I'd be like, wow, that's horrible. That's the worst thing ever. For like probably about a year, it was getting worse and worse. But as a targeted individual with these layers of like microwave heat on my body, and then they're doing all this stuff to my brain. Then I find out there's something that was really bad that was going on that I can fix that I didn't think. I either thought it would be so difficult to fix, like an implant wise, or that boy, they're just stimulating my vagus nerve and it's just screwed up, the left side of my face, in my in my sinus cavity and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, I love y'all. I'll be back on. I'll be posting stuff. I think I have a couple of things that I wanted to post. But I love you guys. Y'all just hang in there, and I hope you have a very merry Christmas. Enjoy your family if you're going to be with your family. I know a lot of you guys are in pain. Just try and find some stuff to to have some joy in, and all right, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. I love y'all, and it'll be soon. I'm just kind of decompressing. I wanted to let people know it's okay. So that was like 50 minutes. Wow. All right, I love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next one.